Right everyone, this is Nathan speaking here. Today's going to be a very short presentation about this rental marketplace that I've currently made. Basically what this marketplace is about, think about like a website like such as Fiverr and BB and stuff like that. Well, basically what it is, obviously I've designed a marketplace particularly designed for like businesses who like want to earn a living, and especially if it comes to small businesses who want to expand the rental market or who are looking to actually join a rental sort of industrial state. So basically, like I said, I created this rental marketplace called My Dream Rentals, or say My Dream Rental even, and it's supposed to give out a more unique way. So obviously, if you've got any questions, then please, by all means, put them in the comments below. Right, let's get started then. Right, so everyone, what Dream Rental is basically, it's basically an online marketplace that allows people to rent out goods to the public. So like I said, I already mentioned, just people, so like with Fiverr, which is like a freelancer site for for doing design or anything particular. And B&B was more like focused on accommodation. Well, with my rental marketplace, basically I'm focusing on just from renting technology items, renting vehicles, or transportation in other words. You can rent rooms, you can rent anything you imagine, you can rent from this marketplace. And everything about it comes from verified companies. And what I mean by verified, I mean literally the registered companies. So this is another thing that prevents some fraud. So to give you a fair idea what the purpose of My Dream Rental, it's just basically it's a user-friendly site. And also this has been tested on both computers and mobile devices. And obviously, yes, this will support eventually on the Google Play apps, which is obviously when it released. I don't know yet. This is sometime in the near future. Another thing what I thought about this time is that I don't believe in charging anyone fees or commissions, because obviously I know like one company called Fat Lemur, where basically they will charge you a commission from the buyer's point of view, which is called the service fee charge. It's same with goes for Fiverr, those that they would charge the buyer and a fee. How much, I'm not entirely sure, but I know I've used Fiverr before, and I think the fee or varies depending on the amount of orders. And another thing that concerned me most, especially when it comes to rental site, is the safety and security. Like, no person would feel safe if there's no SL certificate or there's no other methods to prevent fraud and scams. And the last thing, obviously, which I really wish that most companies would do, is to offer a way to ask for ID verification. So obviously I've got the technology where to help build my trust with buyers and my clients as the customer, that every single seller or the business owner must provide some sort of identity of the ownership of the business. So regardless if they're a sole trader, a limited company, incorporate company, or big chain, they have to provide evidence to prove that they have registered business. And this is another thing that I use to prevent fraud. Now, what is My Dream Rental all about, and who is it for? Well, basically it's for people like small businesses who offer rental services. It's good for landlords, it's good for hotel chains. So if you look at rentals for this sort of point of view, say like you're a company who sells technology, sell like laptops and desktop computers, right? And for whatever reason, so like a customer says, "Oh, I can't afford that. That's just too expensive." Because you're looking at about a couple of £1,000 for a decent machine, so like for gaming console. And also, this is how they lose their sales. So by them renting it out to the public, they're gaining, more sales and more profits, but they're building that trust, knowing that obviously a customer feels more, I don't know, there's different ways the customers can see it. It's like, there's trust there already built, because they knowing the fact obviously when it comes to renting off items, especially through a marketplace, especially mine, they knowing that if anything was to go wrong, they're covered. And same goes with landlords, especially when it comes to like property and such as that. Sure, we got like those, Rightmove, Zoopla, all those sort of sites where you can actually advertise your property. If Congo, Villa, anything in particular like that. And especially with hotel chains, obviously, regardless if you're a motel or a hotel or whatever, I do cater for all these three categories. And the best part of this, is that you can actually select how long the actual rental period is. So maybe you want to say, I want to have a minimum rental of say like 7 days, but I want the maximum rentals or say like 20 days. You can do this on this platform, which is handy for, especially for like people who have rentals. So like they've got like loads of equipment, but obviously once it's gone, obviously we need it back within, I don't know, a certain period. That's fine. With this software, you can easily do that. So by selecting whatever your date, saying, this is the minimum and I want it back within this period, by you doing that, it gives you the flexibility, and also then the customer has to pick how many days they want to rent it off you. When it comes to say like, okay, then I want to rent it for 4 days. Well, 4 days is fine because it's within whatever period the actual potential seller wants. It's a very, very flexible system that I actually designed to help if it's a small business, if it's a big business, it's an enterprise business, if it's a family-run business. And you could be renting anything. It's like you could be renting caravans, you could be renting out units, like storage facilities. Or if you're a hotel, you can maybe rooms to rent. Whatever you want to rent out people, this is entirely up to you. Obviously, yes, there is restrictions going to be applied, but also I'm giving you the freedom compared to what most other retail marketplaces out there that have this sort of restriction where you can't like rent out this particular item for whatever reason this may be, which obviously I can understand in some ways, but I can't understand what have they done wrong for it to not being an acceptable thing. So this is the reason why people I want you to think about in joining this sort of marketplace and give me feedback on what do you actually think. Is it worth the money? Do you see some sort of potential investment into it? And of course, obviously, if you've got any contact details, also that's my email address, which is at info@mydreamrental.co.uk, and also that's my website. And of course, like I said, if you've got any questions, then by all means leave me a comment or just shoot me an email. Okay, thank you all. Goodbye.